got a lot of noise here. I don't know why. It's going to be a struggle to pick up somebody with a not a very H286, Patricia and David, on a very crispy morning here. We've got pretty clear skies, actually, only about 5% cloud on the horizon, 19th of June. So I suppose we can't expect it to be less than crispy or more than crispy. 12 degrees, according to our warm thermometer. It's too cold to go outside and check the other one. 1 knot from the east, 1024.3, sort of pulsing, a bit steady, but pulsing, if you know what I mean. You know how sometimes it just sort of wobbles up and down 1 or 2. So that's the conditions here. So just talked Thursday last week and really enjoying the conditions. If you're going towards Minerva and further north, we've got boats spread out from about Valak down at 26 south, and they've got actually northeast 4 to 6. David confirmed that on the models. Well, they confirmed what the model's saying would be a better way of putting it. And all the way up to Pilgrim up in the Yasawas has got 15 knots from the east. Diego and Messatroy is in Nisham with 10 knots from the southeast, I assume. So yeah, it's all very lovely and mellow. So we'll presume that you are all enjoying it. Cetacea, who are aptly named yesterday, had about 50 to 60 dolphins around them. They are going to arrive Minerva today, but that would have been quite spectacular because it was very calm. The sea was pretty calm, not much in it, 1 metre swell, and they were motoring in about 6 knots of variable wind a while ago, but that must have been quite spectacular to have all those dolphins around. It always is really cheering. They describe them very well on Yit, and hadn't been able to identify them, so they'll just have to name them a new species, won't they? First in gets the choice. All right, I will try and find, I might just wait a bit to see if this actually calms down, this funny noise on the radio. David swears he's put off all of the heaters in the lounge, so I'll assume that it's just a bit noisy around here at the moment with everybody with their heaters on before they go to work. So I will leave it for about 5 or 10 minutes and then we'll go into seeing if anybody wants anything. But I do want to try and find alchemy too. Okay, a little bit of news. Actually, before we start that, if you could put your thinking caps on, please, those who have been in Suva. And yesterday I got a really good video. David on Anahata has had his drone in the air, and we never got to Suva because we were heading down there to check out and got some really good conditions to New Zealand, so checked out at what is the old capital, just a bit further north. But anyway, if you have been in Suva and if you have found a mechanic in Suva, would be very pleased to hear about it. They have got one engine out of action. I don't know whether it's solenoid or starter or the starter circuit or whatever. But if anybody who has been in Suva and has had need of a mechanic, please get back to me in a few minutes. We'll give a call for that one. Okay, news. The Grand Canyon is now an official dark sky park. That's I don't know why they've come out with these things, but some international organisation, probably Sky Watchers, has declared various places around the world. You don't actually have to go to the Grand Canyon to be in an official dark sky park. You can just go to the Great Barrier Island here, which is a lot easier to get to. And in fact, since they've been on that list of dark sky parks, they've had quite a boost in their tourism on Great Barrier Island. In the Middle East, it's getting a little bit tense, the tension between Iran, who has increased their uranium production, and the United States, and the US is sending 1,000 more troops to the Middle East. I don't think Mr. Trump wanted to do that, but they're sending troops, more specialised troops actually, people responsible for all sorts of these digital type weaponry.
Where are they putting them?
In Iran. No, in Iraq. They're going to Iraq. All right. Another American has died in the Dominican Republic. I don't think I've mentioned this before, but there's been some mysterious deaths. Not quite the shooting of the sports star, but people just dying in their hotel rooms. And this is the 8th one this year. Another woman has died in her hotel room. They maintain it's just coincidence or one of these things that happens. But there are now 8. So it's getting to be a little bit puzzling.
Why you would want to go there?
Yeah, David doesn't know why you would want to go to the Dominican Republic, and I don't know either, but there you have it. Facebook, they have launched a cryptocurrency. Kind of an interesting time for them to be launching something because they are in the gun for over $1 billion in fines for privacy type things. But anyway.
Yeah, they'll pay it in funny money.
They'll pay it in funny money. Cryptocurrency, it's going to be called the Libra. As in the zodiac sign associated with fairness and symbolised with a set of scales. There are 2.4 billion users of Facebook, so this new cryptocurrency can be used by them. You can swap your logo. You wouldn't even mind using it. Not that we are on Facebook, but boy, it will certainly put the banks in their place for the high costs that they charge for doing all sorts of things that enable them to use your money more. It's aimed at people who do not have access to traditional banking systems, but I am sure that those that do have access to banking systems will use it too, given that there's 2.4 billion of them.
Well, they have to use their banks to get the phony money.
Well, I guess they would have to use their banks to get the phony money. But anyway, we'll see what happens. In the UK, the Tories are down to 5 people now in the hunt for the new leader. Johnson still leads the pack, but they are in the process at the moment, actually, of reducing that even further. And actually, in the UK, they've had quite a lot of rain in the south, and added to the woes, the South Western Railway staff have started a 5-day strike. Now, that wouldn't normally be a problem. It only affects commuters. Well, yeah, only. But it's Royal Ascot week, so the Royal Ascot racegoers are going to be affected. Hopefully the railway workers don't do the same thing here at Auckland, because on Saturday there's the big Tonga versus New Zealand game at Mount Smart Stadium, and most people get there by, well, certainly the Tongans get there on the train, so hopefully that will all go well. Back in Hong Kong, there's still just a massive amount of stuff going on there, and the boss lady, Carrie Lam, has signalled that the extradition bill may not pass. I don't think that's definite enough for the people demonstrating, but at least she's taken notice that perhaps that wasn't a very good idea. And when you're driving, this is with an interesting one. In New Zealand, if someone does something courteous to you, like if a bus is trying to get out into the mainstream from a stop and you stop and let it go, usually I just flash my lights to show them that I'm not going to try and pass them. They acknowledge here in Auckland by flashing their hazard lights. It always makes you feel good that you've done something nice. But in Wellington, evidently, they toot. And in the Manawatu, they wave. And in the Waikato, they have a thumbs up. So I think they're sort of looking for well, the AA is certainly looking to try and make us a little bit more courteous on the roads, because New Zealanders as a whole are not very courteous. So it'd be interesting to know what you guys think of how you would acknowledge that someone's done something decent on the road. You probably haven't even experienced someone doing something decent on the road. What would you do, David?
Well, the problem is most of the cars now have got so much tinting on the windows, so any gestures done on the inside of the car, nobody would see anyway. So that means you have to roll down your window. If it's raining, that's not a good idea.
No,
so I think I like the hazard light.
The hazard light flash, okay. Yeah, David laughed at me because when we're on the track, especially in his car, it has got very dark windows, which I sort of forgot about. So if I pulled to the side and sort of used my left hand to wave people past, they would never pass, and I couldn't understand it until David said, "They won't see you wave."
They don't pass us.
If you've had a lotto there's 123 million pounds going for grabs. No one has claimed the last winning humongous lottery there. And here's another road-based one, is Spain. They have reduced the speed on country roads, all you Spanish listeners there, from 100 kilometres per hour, which is what we have on our country roads, to 90. And indeed, I think that's going to happen here in New Zealand in the not too distant future. Some of these country roads are really not up to 100 kilometres per hour. It's cost them 526,000 euros to change the signs, but they are hoping that they will then get into that they grade all of the countries to see which are the safest to drive in, and the ones that are the most safe, which is 0 to 30 deaths per million people, are the UK, Sweden and Norway. So Spain is not too far off that, so they're hoping that this change will bring them into that safe country for driving group. Not much else here. Sotheby's, by the way, has been bought by a French billionaire called Patrick Drahi. It doesn't sound very French to me. He's a telecoms billionaire, a company called Altice. But anyway, he's bought Sotheby's, which has been on the New York Stock Exchange for about 30 years, but he's going to return it to private ownership. It cost him $3.7 billion to buy Sotheby's. So obviously, well, he's an art lover, so I presume that that's going to be something that he will enjoy putting his money into. Okay, I am going to now call for anybody who knows anything about mechanics in Suva, or in fact Savu, because Gotta Go could possibly get there as well. Anybody got any recommendations for a mechanic in Suva? Please call. Good morning to Ariwa, and I presume you're doing pretty well. Where were you yesterday? But go ahead, over. Yep, go ahead with the position. This is terrible.
I am going to 5 points. Look at the northeast at 5 o'clock. These are all and 50%. What a glorious sunrise before you.
Well, it does sound perfect conditions for entering. I'm assuming that is North Minerva. Looking at that, over. This is terrible. There's something on now. Did you check the towel rack? Yeah, I've just sent David off to try and look at what we've left on. There's something making a noise, and it may be the towel rack or his electric blanket. So, yes, I'm not sure that I'm going to hear but I'm hoping that Gotta Go will hear the advice